We're back, completely new angle and completely new city. It's Chicago in the background, just like good old times. Actually, we're in Dubai right now, but I was just uploading this new computer, getting this all set up in the backgrounds here, and I actually found a lot of my old stuff, which is pretty damn cool. So in this case, we'll be bringing some of these old things back. But for today's video, I want to be bringing up something completely new, which is my YouTube views and correlating that to kind of where we are at in the overall crypto markets, or the overall Bitcoin market cycle. This channel's more or less focused on that, and even revealing the full amount of money this channel has ever made in the past 6 years. So without further ado, let's jump into it right on over here. Starting off with the big information of the day, and we can see the lifetime information of my channel. So this is likely indicative of just general market normie participation, if you will. I love that word normie. It's absolutely hilarious. And while this channel isn't necessarily focused on normies, I would imagine that as things heat up and as the space gets more popular, you get more normies just falling into the Krown crypto trap, the Krown crypto cave trap. And as we've seen over time, these views do correlate quite well with past cycles. You can see these spikes over here. In 2019, that was essentially on the first real upside run that we saw from when this channel was born. Because this channel was born in March-ish of 2018, so it's been around for about 6 years now, almost 6 years to the T. And that was like the first run that we saw on price action while this channel was alive, from about 4,000 to 14,000. And then, of course, again, for the next couple of years following that, things were pretty dormant. Not really much going on until 2021, the end of 2021, that is. Really, it was like the last few months of 2021 where the views started to make new all-time highs. Now, here's a thing that really puts all of this into perspective, and it is this. The channel subscriber numbers have been growing over time, right? So during 2019, the subscriber level was certainly below 50,000 bucks. It was, I believe, even below 40,000 bucks, probably around 35,000. Did I say bucks? I mean people. The fuck? I'm like thinking of Bitcoin price action right now. But right now, we do have almost 189,000 subscribers. So you would expect that these numbers are kind of like not consistent, but that is actually revealing in and of itself, because the viewership on this channel as of right now is pretty much around, I mean, actually even a little bit below what we saw in that first initial run in 2019, again, when the subscriber level on this channel was probably around like 30 to 35,000 subscribers. So in comparable terms, things are really, really dormant still, as you can see. And while 2021 was certainly a massive explosion, we do kind of, you never want to take things for granted, but you do kind of want to expect that channel viewership and subscriber will continue to grow. Maybe not at the same pace. Maybe, I just start to suck, and that's fair enough, and no one starts watching. That can obviously happen as well. You don't want to take things for granted, but if we assume that relationship does continue, which most YouTube channels do grow over time, even the most egregious ones, which you might even put my channel in that category for it, we would look at this as even more depressed levels as of right here compared to these levels over here. So in terms of, is retail or the normies here? Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely fucking not. Like, not even close. Not even close. By the way, you can see the full revenue that my channel has ever made in the past 6 years. 377 divided by 6, I think, is somewhere around like 55-ish thousand. So it's pretty damn good. Don't want to be dismissive of that. No, of course not. Taxes after that, probably take away a good portion of that. I used to say that you probably couldn't make a living on YouTube, but I mean, at that level, like, you could definitely live in like Thailand or something. It wouldn't be too bad, I guess. Anyways, I thought that this was interesting just to kind of get an idea as to where we are at. What's also interesting about this is that we are starting to see the viewership grow again steadily. We see higher lows. We see higher lows right here, basically since summer of 2023 to kind of where we're at right now. And that was actually indicative in the past cycle when things did start to switch around too. Even during the very, very depressed and boring times of 2020, while Bitcoin was straight up, I mean, it was straight up basically from the March 2020 Rona dump lows. Viewership was still pretty depressed. And while it did grow over time, it's very slow. And really, things didn't start to get crazy until price got crazy. As always, the price is the news, and that's what brings people in. It's the best marketing materials that you could possibly have. So my point is that in this portion of the cycle, we're still probably early. We're still probably very early, actually. There's going to be ups and downs, obviously, but likely, the downside moves are major opportunities. And that's kind of, correlates to what we've been saying on this channel for a while now, basically for the past year, that up and to the right is the name of the game. There are going to be pullbacks along the way, maybe even severe pullbacks like 20 to 30%, but those are likely to be opportunities. So let's actually go into the price action now. I thought that was, a bit of a unique thing to maybe be bringing up, maybe a bit of transparency there as well, as you can see. And let's just start it off right on over here with Bitcoin. So first things first, on the weekends, don't really expect too much, but there is some hidden bullish divergence populating itself, or very likely to populate itself here on the 4-hour time frame, maybe even working its way up to the 6 and 12-hour time frame, as we do print lower lows on RSI compared with higher lows on price action. So short term, does Bitcoin try for a balance? Probably yes. We do see that the 4-hour jewel is also losing its downside signature as of right now, so downside momentum is waning in the more short term. So does it set up for a weekend bounce? Definitely possible. Definitely possible right there. In fact, I would even say probable as we go over here to the daily HPDR bands. So the daily HPDR bands on the index was giving us a good indication coming into this week that Bitcoin was going to come back down and trend closer towards the median. And as Bitcoin did lose the median, we've gotten basically a test down to the bottom side of the 50% range low, kind of already with yesterday's price action. Now for today and probably tomorrow, being the weekend, we continue to see volatility decrease. And volatility is decreasing, we would expect price action to likely float back somewhere closer to the median, wherever that comes in around. As of right now, the median is 51,900. Do I think that Bitcoin's gonna, test 51,900 like today or right now? Maybe not. Probably tomorrow it makes a move somewhere around the median, but the median will very likely come lower tomorrow as well. So maybe somewhere close to like 51.5 or 51.6. But $500, $600 bounce over the weekend, cool, I guess, if you're interested in such things as oscillators do reset. And of course, we can link that up with the daily statistics over here. We can see that, again, Saturday is the lowest volatile day for Bitcoin throughout the history of Bitcoin compared to any other day. Typically on the positive side, producing returns of under 1%, which is actually, it's like if you were in traditional markets, that'd be amazing, but in Bitcoin land, it's nothing. So, for reference, that would put Bitcoin at like 51,200. We're almost there already. To the downside, losing an average of 75, spot 75%, which would put Bitcoin at 50,300, 50,400-ish region. So fair enough. Anyways, not much to say other than that. I guess if you really want to get granular on the data, we can go on the up-down stats. And obviously, Bitcoin did print 3 red days in a row. Typically, if we're looking at statistics, we don't really like to see too many. We don't usually see too many red days in a row without breaking it up with at least 1 green. In fact, the average is 2 when you get consecutive closures. And even if you go all the way up to 4 consecutive red days, that brings you up to the 84th percentile. So, probably more likely we see an attempt for a weekend bounce is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying a bounce towards continuation to new highs or anything like that. No, I think that Bitcoin is still under pressure here, and that if you are going to be bearish, or if bearish is not the right term, it's really protective. Protective is the right term, because as a trader, obviously long term the direction is up. I shouldn't say obviously, but the direction is more likely to be up than down. More probabilistically speaking. But as a trader within this next week spread, if there is going to be a bear attack to the downside, that would be the time to do it. So it's really up to the Bitcoin bulls to hold things sideways here. And it's the bearish opportunity to kind of push things down in this next week, maybe even 2 weeks price action. But the longer that Bitcoin goes sideways, the more and more inherently it will be bullish. So if it can hold here for especially 2 weeks, but even maybe a week, I'd probably start to say, hey, risk is to the upside rather than the downside right now. But right now, risk kind of more to the downside as far as that goes. But Bitcoin has higher lows as long as it's above, like low 40s. So it's probably an opportunity. If there is a pullback, it's an opportunity as far as I look at it. We can also get momentum from the daily perspective over here. Daily stochastic momentum remains to the downside as long as Bitcoin's below 52,500. So do keep that in mind as today kind of progresses on, because again, the longer that Bitcoin goes sideways here, the more and more that this will reset. But it has a lot of resetting to do, as you can see. That's why I say like maybe a week or even two. It'll take some time. 2-day time frame is also going to be headed to the downside as long as Bitcoin's below 52,300, closing not tonight, but tomorrow night. And then the 5-day time frame is closing tonight. Obviously, or it's very likely that it continues to remain above this pivot for right now, 45,350. But where does this pivot move up to on the new open? Well, we'll see that tomorrow. If it moves very, very close to current price action, like upper 40, like very high 40s, like 49,000 or even low 50s, that would be another damn good indication that Bitcoin's probably going to play out a pullback before anything else, like a greater pullback before anything else. But that was one of the portions of the major subset that we're looking at for upside continuation. That's kind of coming to a close for right now, which doesn't imply downside. It just implies sideways, which can resolve either way. But sideways is likely the name of the game, and more sideways will favor the boo laws here. It's going to take time. So, if you're bullish, you want to see kind of a boring end of month and then boring like first week of March. If you're bearish, you want to see things like pushed down now, or at least that would be the most likely thing to be happening. So I think that's a good place for me to be leaving off on this particular video. I'm still in the process of setting up this computer. We need to get like an actual proper camera because this one makes it look like I'm a part of like an inverted witness protection program where my face is too fucking bright. But yeah, I'll be setting up in the background. The good news is that we'll be able to have, well, maybe not for everyone, this good news, but the news is we'll be able to have some live streams this coming week. Just need to figure out which days are best. I'm thinking at least one day, maybe 2 days a week. Definitely Thursday this week, and maybe Tuesday as well. And maybe we can keep that consistent as time goes onwards and forwards as well. Ideally, I'd like to link it up with the most volatile days, which, to be fair, we actually do have stats on. And, well, Monday, actually pretty good day. And, yeah, fair enough. Monday's actually a pretty good day. All right. Anyways, I think that's a good time for me to be leaving off on this particular video. As always, I want to wish you the best of best. As you can see in the top left-hand corner, our power level is just under 189,000. We are so close to 189,000 subscribers, which is going to skew these datas over here even more, which is pretty damn exciting. So if you are interested in more content like this, please do consider subscribing. I'll leave it off on that. Take care. Much love. See you hopefully tomorrow.